Hello and welcome to Unintended Adventures. We last left off in the middle of a pile of bodies and some paralyzed people. One in particular who just had to run away. Now, before we get back to it, let's go over bonds real quick and talk about the benefits of leveling up for those that did and what y'all did with it. So let's start with bonds first. Handy, what are your bonds?
My bonds have not changed since last time. So let's see here. Primrose is a small folk like me. I trust her more than others, and I want time to not be mad at me.
I mean, you did assault him with a variety of bar objects, so
Yes, yes,
And a bear.
we'll get there.
all right, Mimi, what are your bonds?
Handy has stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely. Time is a brave soul. I've got a lot to learn from them. And Primrose has told me that I'm supposed to trust her, but she hasn't earned it yet.
All right, time.
All right. My bonds haven't changed yet. I gotta redo. I gotta figure something out to do with Handy, but the ones I still have are I will teach Mimi the true meaning of sacrifice, and I will cast something into the fire for Rose.
All right, and then Rose.
Rose is I stole something from Time, which was a necklace that resembles like fire. And Mimi insulted me by never believing in how I handle situations. Still doesn't.
Now we haven't discussed. This is the first time that you've mentioned the thing that you stole, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see how and when that comes up. That'll be fun. And last time, two of you leveled up, right? Handy and Mimi.
Mimi.
Level
Yep.
2, but I think I leveled up in the first.
Yeah, that was an episode
Episode,
before.
so.
You did a lot of failing up front.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Handy, you can, if you want, share what your level ups are, or we can figure it out when you decide to use them. That's up to you.
No, I can reveal them now. I gain the ability to talk to animals.
There's going to be no more animals in this game. I'm taking them all away. And how about you, Mimi?
I leveled up and got the move Exterminatus, which allows me to declare a promise to defeat an enemy and gain an additional 2d4 against that enemy until they're defeated, but also take a -4 damage against anyone other than that enemy until they are defeated or I vocalize that I've given up.
And you figure out a way to redeem yourself.
And the effect continues until I redeem myself, correct?
Yeah, that'll be curious. I hope you slay all your foes.
Me too.
Speaking of which, y'all fell onto a pile of corpses, and Mimi, in your panic, you were like, "Nope, I'm out," and decided to run out into the water, where there were these weird, like waving tendril grass-like things, which just kind of happened to latch onto you, and you are incapable of moving, and something
Yeah.
is now chewing on your foot.
Yeah.
I would ask you what you're doing, but your options are pretty limited.
I feel like in this moment I am standing there very, very concerned and scared. So sincerely, I'm so concerned. I don't know what to do. I am like, I assume that it is grabbed on to my boot. Can, can I, oh man, I'm gonna hack and slash at the water right next to my foot. Like, I'm just gonna start just slamming my roofing halberd into the ground while trying to pull away and scramble back up onto the pile of dead bodies.
So you are welcome to try, but you're going to have to tell me how you're going to overcome the fact that you are paralyzed.
So I am not just
You cannot
restricted
move.
by oh.
You could maybe at most make a noise, but you can't talk, you can't move. You are paralyzed at the moment.
Oh, then I am going to. Damn. Okay. I thought I was immobilized, not paralyzed. Well, I am going to, with all of the energy and gusto I can muster, try to yell for help. Help!
Are you trying to do this by like overpowering it with strength, or you're trying to endure through it and just kind of go with it and then overpower?
Yeah,
So
okay.
Is this more
Can
of
we
like a strength
define
thing?
the form of paralysis? Like, have I received some sort of toxicity that has immobilized me, or is this a fear paralysis of like an emotional thing? Like, what is causing this?
Your contact with this thing underwater.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like this. I mean, I feel like this would be a constitution thing.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a defy danger constitution.
8.
All right.
Plus
Defy
1.
danger. When you act despite an imminent threat or suffer a calamity, say how you deal with it through a variety of things. And you went with by enduring. You stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. So you're going to be able to call out, but you're only going to be able to say a few things before you are unable to move again. So you didn't quite escape its grasp, but you managed to muster up enough to shout something out to your team.
Okay, I yell, "Help! My foot!"
Is Handy still backpacked on me?
Yeah, am I still? I can't remember if I let go or not.
No, we said that, well, we had talked about it where it was like, okay, we could go down this road if you want to stay attached and we'll start doing some rolls. And you're like, no. I hit the ground. I fell off. That works.
Okay, that sounds familiar. Okay.
Because I was ready to dive into that one.
Time is probably just gonna turn and start trying to get down to Mimi.
Same. I
Quick as
think.
you can.
Yeah. What's going on? And Handy's running as well.
All right, so y'all are standing on a pretty small pile of bodies. It's, from the center, you're probably 4 to 6 feet from the edge. It's not particularly all that far, and it's a little mound, which sloughs off into the water with basically all this kind of like wavy grass looking stuff. And y'all run to the
Is there
edge.
light? Can I see?
It's pretty dark down here.
Then I'll I'll light up my hand and just kind of like look around for where Mimi's at, if I can find him. And then I'm gonna.
It's dark in like a dim moonlight night. Like it's
Okay.
low visibility, but you still have like some visibility.
Oh,
But it's
okay,
still pretty poor. And having your hand definitely helps.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll just
You can
have
see him standing in
one
the
hand,
water, and he's just kind of standing there.
walk over and try like. Do I see the tendril or whatever wrapped around him, or is he
No.
just like statued?
I mean, there's a handful of them kind of all over the place. You wouldn't necessarily see directly that there's something wrapped around his foot. The water is a little on the darker side. It's a little murky. You just got these, it just looks like grass sticking out of the water, but waving around. It's the air's pretty still in here. So
I'll stand near the edge and hold my hand out, going and look at Mimi and go, "Are you okay? What's going on here? Anything?"
I mean, again, I would just try and respond back and say something has my foot.
oh, when you respond, all you do is like moan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Pull him out of the water. Can we move him from the water?
You guys are getting through this whole the bodies themselves.
Don't look at it. The more you look at it, the worse it's going to get. Just look straight. Look
it's
forward.
not the looking that bothers me. It's that they're up to my waist.
Okay. I guess I'll try to reach out for Mimi and pull him back towards me.
Okay.
I'd like to assist.
All right. Which one of you is doing the brunt of the grabbing?
I guess probably me.
All right. So go ahead and roll a defy danger strength, and then Handy, go ahead and roll an aid for.
Do I have anything in Dex? Okay, so it's not going to really matter anything because I don't have anything in either one. Defy danger. Nope.
Oh no!
Wait a minute here. Oh, so I saw those in the wrong order. So Time went to roll, and he got a 3. So
yeah.
He's not going
Not
so
strong.
well, and Handy went did a partial success on the aid or interfere. Time, you go in to grab him, and he's just a little further out in the water than you were anticipating. And then Handy kind of comes charging up behind, like, oh, I'm going to help you too. And well, you just kind of stumble forward into the water, and they're like, okay, this ain't so bad. I got it. And then you got your hands on Mimi, and you can't move. Rose, what are you doing?
Oh shit.
I would like to discern realities, please. She's going to look around. I mean, she's trying to still get through the pile of bodies. It's disturbing, and there's a lot of them, and so it's making things difficult. So she sees, did all 3 of them get stuck, or just 2 of them?
Just 2 of them for now.
Yeah, she's So she's going to look around and see, because she is pretty sure she's not going to be able to pull them out, because it's Mimi and Time that are stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no way she's going to be able to pull them out.
I mean, you never know.
So it's doubtful. So, because let's look at her strength here. -1. Nice. So yeah, she's just gonna look around and see if there's anything that would help her in this situation, or like if I don't even know, like anything that would be useful, really. That's a 6.
When you study a situation or person, roll plus wisdom. Either way, take +1 forward when acting on the answers.
Get a +1.
Oh, complications. Let's see here. I don't think you get to ask a question, right? It's still just...
Yes. It sounds like I do. It's just there are complications to it, it sounds like, right? Because it said either way, take +1 forward when acting on the answers.
Well, it says on a 10 plus, ask 3. On a 7 to 9, ask 1. I'm looking at the full description for it.
I guess she wouldn't see anything.
You know, you're trying to look around and figure out what's going on, but you've never been stuck on a pile of bodies before. Like, you've seen a dead body before, and it's been upsetting, but this is a heaping mound of rotten corpses in various stages of decay. And I imagine, like, you're trying to look out over at your party or into the water, and then, like, you're not paying attention to where your foot is, and it slips between two bodies, and you stumble a little, and then you're looking down at your foot like, oh God, this is gross. What's happening? So you basically just...
I get distracted.
You trip on, an arm, and you go face first into a pile of mush.
No, I don't. Can we not be here anymore? I don't.
How do we get them to get? They're not moving. They're stuck. Can we look at the least decayed and messed up corpse? Is there any? Can I gather anything from them that would maybe go cause of death? Unlike the one that's not as decomposed as the others?
Well, it sounds like you want to discern realities by eyeballing some corpses.
I do.
Give me a roll.
Okay. Partial success.
You got a 9.
That's all right.
You get to ask one question from the list, which is what happened here recently, what is about to happen, what should I be on the lookout for, what here is useful or valuable to me, who is really in control here, or what here is not what it appears to be.
What? I'm torn between two. What here is useful or valuable to me?
I'll give you 2. One's going to be a gimme, but the mound you're standing on is far better than being in the water. But after spending some time, your eyes have adjusted a little bit, and you can see that there is a path leading out of the room that has like stones under the water, but they're just below the surface. And there is a much lower concentration of grass in that direction. Like, when you're looking around, everything looks like it's kind of about the same, but you notice there's this path kind of zigzags in a way where it's like, okay, from, if you look at it from most places, it's going to look the same as everywhere else. But if you catch it just right, you're like, okay, I can see there might be something there to get through.
Okay. Rose, we need to go over there. There's something in the water. We need to go over there where there's no water and no grass.
About them.
I don't know. Did time suffer an effect when he touched Mimi, or was it when he slipped into the water and started getting? When did that effect take place? Was it contact with Mimi or contact with the water?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. One more question. Other than paralysis, does it look like anything else is happening to these two?
I mean, you can't see anything.
I would like to get as close to getting carefully moving along, as close to time as I can, not touching time and trying not to touch the water. I want to see, basically what I'm trying to see is there like black veins? Like, is he suffering some, like, or is he just stuck and he'll eventually die of starvation?
Give me another discern realities.
Oh, okay.
Look, we're either going to learn things or you're going to learn things.
Got him. Success.
An
Okay.
11.
All right.
Get to ask 3 questions.
If these all, okay. I'll go with what's about to happen and what should I be on the lookout for. But I think that's kind of the path to take.
All right, so what are we asking?
So we'll do the first 3. What happened here recently? What's about to happen? And what should I be on the lookout for?
All right, well, what happened here recently is some of the bodies that you're standing on have been slowly been feasted upon. And you would say that it was probably not too long ago, maybe half a day at most, fairly fresh. At least those are the ones on the top of the pile. And what's about to happen is, without good planning, you will be added to the pile and feasted upon. And what you should be on the lookout for is a way out.
Okay. Rose, let's try to go over there and see if there's something we can maybe come back, find it, and then maybe come back and try to pull them out. But I know we can't get on the water. We can't touch the grass.
Why can't we get in the? I mean, obviously the water might be very deep. You want to go in like deep water.
It's not deep over there though. You can see the stone like right below. So I think we'll be okay. Maybe we can find something and maybe like rope or like something to pull them out.
Do you know about this grass?
I don't know, but it looks like it's not good. It doesn't feel right.
Not handy. Mimi and Time, can you both roll a d6, please? All right, Time and Time rolled twice.
No.
No.
Did I?
No, I only see time once and then boot if it's in it.
It didn't actually roll. I had my slash on the wrong side of the R.
All right.
You can also click the dice on the bottom too.
So you both rolled a 4, and I believe you both have 1 point of armor.
Nope.
I have 2 points of armor.
Well, you take 2 damage, and
Now, did anything visual happen in that?
no. Water is unusually still, but both of you guys can feel something clamping down aggressively on your feet and your legs as teeth sink into.
So then I take 4 points of damage.
Yep. But for a moment, you guys are released from the paralysis, not necessarily from, the thing at hand, but you have a moment to act.
I have my first scarf. It's like a rope.
I'm immediately igniting the burning brand and throwing my fire spear down.
All right, go ahead. You got to roll for that, right?
Yeah. Partial success. I'm gonna choose 1 additional tag. I'm gonna add a +1 to my damage
All right. Now you're just going to stab it down into the water?
because I felt something bite at my foot, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna that direction. I'm gonna stab downwards at it.
Go ahead and give me a hack and slash.
9. Get your damage on the enemy.
You're going to give me your damage.
Okay, so 4 damage.
All right. So you're going to grab your weapon, and you feel the teeth sink into your leg, and you're not sure if it's the pain that kind of jolts you out of your paralysis or what, but you're like, I have my moment, and you reach up and you, like a bolt of lightning, you grab like a fire spear out of the air and you just throw it into the ground below you. And you make contact with this thing and you feel its grip completely release. You've killed it, and you step back a bit and you can pull your spear out of the water, and you can see it looks like a squid with like these long, now that you have it out of the water, it doesn't look like grass anymore. They're like tentacles at a distance. It camouflages as grass, but now that you have it, you're like, these are tentacles, and it's just limp on your, sizzling away on your weapon.
Okay. I'm gonna just get back up out of the water, and I tell maybe to swing down or don't move, and I'll throw my spear down at his feet.
Mimi, what are you doing?
So I could, through this whole thing, I was paralyzed, but I could hear Handy and Rose behind me, and I felt Time touch my back and all that, right?
Yep.
Can I see the path that Handy was talking about?
Not likely. You weren't looking in that direction whatsoever. It was to your back, and while he mentioned it, you'd have to turn around and get your bearing to figure that out.
Time just told me to attack it. I'm going to hack and slash and take my roofing halberd and just smash it down right on the edge of my foot where the tentacle's grabbing it.
All right, let's see it.
That's 6.
So it's
Why do you keep attacking water? We got to go over there. And I'll try to like throw like a, I don't know, a
My
finger or
foot
something.
is stuck. I can't get it up, and something's down there grabbing me. But I can move. I need help.
Pull harder.
I'll try harder.
how do we want to resolve this?
Can I throw my spear?
Yes,
Handy's going to
just
start
not at the
moving in that
moment.
direction.
Okay.
How are you swinging your weapon? Like what are you doing to attack?
Not so much a swing as a downward jab. Like,
Okay, so you bring it down and you're like, yeah, I got it. And then you go to grab your weapon and it's wedged pretty significantly in the ground. It's kind of swampy here. You know, you waded in pretty fast, but after standing there for a moment, you're like, there's some bog stickiness to this. And you've got your weapon a little slurped up at the moment. So it's gonna take you a little effort to get it out. And
Okay.
otherwise you'll have to leave it.
Okay. So are you asking me to make that choice right now?
No, that's up to you. I mean, Rose, what are you doing
She is.
after
She's gonna
wiping
go with
the
Handy.
body goop off your
Yeah,
face?
She like grabbed a random like dry-ish looking piece of cloth to wipe it off and threw that in the pile. She's gonna follow Handy's lead. And while she's doing that, she's going to be looking around for anything else that's suspicious or trap-like, or that might, because she doesn't know that it's a creature. Like that's too far out for her to really see or anything. It still looks like grass to them. So in her mind, it's like a trap. Like they activated some sort of trap. So she's being on the lookout for more traps. And I have a move called Trap Expert.
All right.
That when I spend a moment to survey a dangerous area, I get a roll plus dex. And as I walk through the area, I have a list of questions I can ask depending how well I roll, which is an 11. So I get to ask all 3 questions.
All right.
So I guess, is there a trap here? And if so, what activates it?
There is not a trap here.
Well, what does this non-existent trap do when activated? Listen,
Total party wipe.
I gotta ask all 3 questions.
Yes.
All right. Well, the third one will be more better, I guess. What else is hidden here?
So I'm going to give you 2 things. Handy had pointed out the path to you, and you know you have kind of a hard time seeing it. But what you do notice is there's kind of a pattern to the way the grass is moving, which gives you, I would say, advantage on walking through this little zigzag. And you notice that there is kind of on the outskirts, because you're in this circular rock-like room, that there is at the end of that path, it's not a door, but it's the outline of a door. It's kind of hard to see from here, but you can definitely see that there's something entirely out of place at the end over there.
So like outline of a door, like it looks like a door is like scratched into the wall, kind of. But it's not like a 3D door.
Like if you had your rock surface and then you just had like the outside area of the door marked off, and then like the center of it still looks like the rest of it.
Oh, did you notice that the grass is moving like in a weird way for grass, I guess, especially with the water being as still as it is? It's like it goes this way and it goes this way, but it's very like patterny.
Well, they're quids now, not grass.
Well, that's even weirder then.
And it hurts.
Oh, there's a door over there too. Or at least it's kind of like a door. It's like an outline of a door. Maybe it is
That's
a door.
what I've been saying.
Okay, well, here's the pattern. First we hop, go this way, and then we'll wait 2 seconds, and then we'll go again, and we'll make it to the door.
Oh, we got
And he
to
starts going.
get Mimi out of this thing first.
Okay,
Hey,
well,
you
you
still
do-
stuck? Pull.
Can I start pulling the rope out of my backpack?
Yeah, you can do that. So, like, are you staying in the water and attempting to remove your weapon, or are you backing out of the water?
Am I free to back out of the water?
Yes, you are, just without your weapon.
Oh, well.
So that's the choice. You can either stay in and attempt to grab it and pull it out with all of the fun consequences that could show up as a result, or you could step out of the water.
I want to tie my rope around my roofing halberd and step out of the water.
All right, so go ahead and make a defy danger. How are you trying to tie it?
So tight. The
Quickly?
best damn knot that's ever been tied.
Well done.
Yeah, so well done. The best knot.
What's your priority, though, is what I'm getting at. a well-tied
Mm.
knot or hastily accomplishing your task?
I mean, a compromise of the two, with a priority for ensuring that it is a very well tied knot.
Okay, give me a defy danger, let's say strength.
Okay, bastard. That's a 5.
He's gonna level
You
up so fast.
you get
I
your
don't.
rope out and you start fastening like a noose to wrap around. The staff has a variety of spots. There's potentially like a piece on the end that's a little larger that's going to give you a place. And you slip it over and then you go to cinch it down, and your arms are just not pulling it closed anymore because you are no longer moving.
How far into the water am I from the pile?
3 feet. You're like just out of
Should have
arm's
asked that
reach
question.
for someone to stand on the pile and reasonably be able to grab you and pull you. Like they might be able to like reach out and like touch you, but would not have the leverage to yank you out well without stepping a foot in.
Do any of the bodies have equipment? I mean, they came from somewhere. They're in a cave thing. Do they have rope? Anything that is useful? A winter coat, maybe? Like any. They had stuff. They were people at some point.
Yeah, you can. Let's see here. So go ahead and give me a discern realities.
Success.
All right.
At this point, I would have gone through all the questions.
Mhm.
Do we have to read from this exact list?
Yes, you're not allowed to stray from the list. But so the way the questions are also oriented is they apply directly to what you're doing. So you're looking at bodies for equipment. So what happened here recently will impact
Gotcha. So
what you're talking about in this
Um,
circumstance. Even though we just asked it for something else, it will be tuned
Right.
to your current investigation.
yeah. What should I be on the lookout for, and what here is useful or valuable to me? The others I can't really find a use for.
Okay, what should you be on the lookout for? Well, what here is useful or valuable to you? There's a lot of the state of these bodies is in a variety of I mean, you dig deep enough, there's just skeletal remains, and the surface is nice because most of the bodies are semi-whole, but it gets pretty goopy pretty fast. But from the most recent batch, there's a backpack on the ground that you could probably find a piece or two of adventuring equipment from. So, adventuring gear is the catch all of equipment. One or two of you has some adventuring gear on you, and it's contextual where it's like, okay, I want to use this thing. And it's instead of saying I have this particular thing in my bag, it's I use a piece of adventuring gear and then tell you what the gear is. So I packed a rope from earlier, so I have a rope. Go ahead and flip a coin
it.
for me. Give me a 1 or a 2.
2.
All right, you're going to find 2 pieces of adventuring gear, which can be
Oh, shit.
whatever works for you.
Yeah. So I see the pack. I pull out a rope. I'll figure out what the second thing is later on, and I want to start like fashioning. Like I've like watched farmers trying to like lasso beasts of burden that I've got out of the farm and stuff. So I want to like try and fashion and tie it into a big loop with a knot at the end, so I can try and kind of lasso Mimi and try to pull him, or just teeter him towards the pile of bodies so we can all get him saved.
All right, I'm going to need to defy danger. How are you going to do this? Let's talk about that first.
So I'm going to Rose is getting the stuff off her and trying to figure out how to discern the pattern. Time is stabbing water. So that's fun. So I'm just gonna go in the zone and try to like first fashion just a nice circle of rope and tie it off. And once I have that, I'm gonna try and get maybe a foot away from the water down at the edge there. And then I'm gonna start to kind of like with the when you go net fishing, try to like swing it out and try to let it keep the circle and try to catch and get that circle over Mimi. Whether it goes on the ground, that's fine, or in the water, that's fine. But I want to try and get it around him at some point so that I can pull and just put some tension on him with the rope. Then I can get their attention, and then we can all like pull if I'm not strong enough because I'm quite weak. Pull even if it makes him topple over, but toppling towards us so we can. That's what the plan I have in my head. That Handy has in his head.
All right.
So we're doing.
A defy danger, probably dexterity. You got a lot of coordination going on here, and you're also,
a lot of.
You're trying to tie likely a pretty gross and slimy rope, but also you're 3 foot tall and you're trying to lasso this person twice your size who's 4 or 5 feet away from you.
Yep.
We'll see.
So when that rope snaps in half, I grab the second piece of rope that I found, and then I try to do the same thing. I got complications.
So you you get your lasso. You're like, okay, here we go, and you throw it and you overshoot it. And for some reason, it didn't occur to you to just hold on to the other end, and you literally just throw the rope into the water.
Hold the long end, Handy. Hold the long end.
Okay. I got another one. Help me. Can you tie knots? And I'm gonna try to start tying knots again, and basically rinse and repeat, burning the other usage of the adventuring gear I found.
I can help, I guess.
No. We're gonna retcon this.
Okay.
You had a success with your discern realities. You gathered some information. When acting on it, you take a +1.
+1.
So your 6 bumps up to a 7, which is a partial success.
And also, when you if it says take a +1 forward, if you look on your sheet, there is a forward that you can click, and on your next roll, it will automatically add that +1.
Oh.
I wondered what that meant.
Oh, it even has a holds too.
So you're
Wow, we really need to look at this character sheet.
It's new, yeah.
we're gonna say that you threw it and it overshoots. So you don't get it around him, but you don't throw your rope away. It's whirring out there, and then you're like, oh man, I missed, and then wait and grab it really fast before it entirely disappears.
Time. You do farm stuff. I have a rope. Can you help me? I need to throw it to catch him like a horse or something. Can you help me?
Yeah. Come on, give it. I'll take it from him, and then I'll do the same thing. I'll try to get lasso it around his body.
Now I'm gonna say this, and you guys can agree with me or not. I'm just gonna say that you have the ability to do it because standing at the edge of the water, you are much taller and have a much larger reach, and so being able to just slip a rope over someone is pretty doable from your standpoint. Handy,
Right.
you're tiny, and that's how the world works. It's harder for you.
I'm helping with motivation.
So you're able to get the noose around him, and there's now a rope kind of dangling, and he's got his arms kind of up on his roofing axe staff. And
Roofing
so
halberd.
Halberd, excuse me, roofing halberd. And so the rope just kind of comes over and is laying across his arms and his shoulder.
Get diagonal across you.
No, he's got both hands up on it. It's coming across. It's lying across the top of both arms.
I can't even say you're bullying me because that's legit. Yeah, that's funny.
Pull. And whatever rope is dangling near me, I'm gonna try to start to pull.
All right, give me a defy danger strength.
Are we assisting each other?
Well, you got gung ho with it, so you get to.
All right.
You get to start,
Well,
and
might be a good thing that I'm weak right now. All right.
Yeah.
Complications.
I guess I'm
Did you want to assist time?
Yeah. So once you boy, I go what, and then I'll do what I can. Let's see, modifier. Oops, it's strength, right?
Well, no, you're doing an aid. To aid or to interfere, which I mean, interfering would be wild, but we could go that route.
No, okay. So just
so you got to roll to see if
plus
you can
bond.
give me. Yeah, you're not. And you've only got one bond with me, so I don't think we're gonna make it.
All right, let me look at something.
I rolled 5.
Yeah, you bailed. You bombed.
Can we
That's the
pull
word
him
I'm
down
looking
and
for.
just deal damage, but get him so we can grab him?
Just knock him unconscious, and he'll be fine.
We're trying to help.
Yeah, when they start pulling, I want to just flex my neck muscles. Hard as that.
Yeah.
Well, they're rigid, just not that way. So, Time, what are you basically you get the rope and you kind of drop it over him, and Handy is already like on the other end, turned around and like sprinting off as fast as he can, because apparently that's how strength works. You got to do it quickly.
That's breast muscles.
What were you gonna do? What was your way of assisting this circumstance?
Quick jerking motions, always.
Because I mean, I saw where it was landed, and like that. I mean, I would know that that's not the best place to have a rope around someone's neck. So
I'm guessing that your reaction was probably to grab the rope
yeah,
and prevent it from going any further than it needed to. Well, this is going to backfire in
Yeah.
so many ways.
yeah,
Suddenly, tug of war.
Well, there is a tug of war, and what happens is there's going to be like a double clothesline effect here, where Handy is running off the other way, and then all of a sudden the rope is no longer going in his direction, and so he is going to get jerked back and drop the rope and basically start sliding down into the water. Mimi, on the other hand, is going to have a fun little party with his neck. Neck and rope are going to get real friendly. What's the best way to resolve this? So I'm going to give you two options, Mimi. You can stand in place. So you're going to be kind of like jerked back, and that motion is going to disrupt whatever's got you paralyzed. And you have a split second to make a decision about what you're going to do, which is you can stand in place holding onto your rope and your weapon, but your neck is going to get punched pretty hard by the rope as it's moving in the other direction. Or
by Handy with the resistance of time fighting Handy.
Time
right?
was trying to stop Handy and ended up pulling you down. Well, potentially pulling you down as well.
kind of like a
Yeah, something like that, where
Okay.
your interference in the middle caused both of them to come in.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Or
Or you can let go and fall backwards, but you'll lose your rope. Your weapon's not going to go anywhere. It's stuck in the ground, but your rope will then like fall into the water and you won't be able to retrieve it. Not without sticking your hand in there, at least. So you can stand there and take a little bit of damage as you get clotheslined, or you could
I'm
choose to
gonna-
let go and fall back out of the water.
taking no damage but losing my roofing halberd.
Losing your rope.
Losing the rope. Well,
Yes.
yeah, it's
It's just going to be stuck there in the water, but the rope is going to like fall down because you didn't secure the knot in time.
Yeah. Ooh, so okay, because is it not secured at all, or is it shoddily secured?
It is poorly secured, but because you were attempting to cinch it down when you were paralyzed, it'll basically just slide to the bottom, and it'll be in the water if you want to retrieve it, which means you'll have to reach in to the base of your weapon to grab the rope.
Okay, I'm gonna release the rope and fall backwards.
All right, your neck is very thankful for this.
Yeah.
Andy, you are sliding towards the edge of the water, and you can see that there are some weird looking pieces of grass. They were sticking straight up, but it seems like they are reaching in your direction. What are you doing?
I want to plant myself firmly into the pile of corpses to stop my descent.
All right, give me a defy danger. That's an interesting, I'd say that's probably like strength,
Okay.
because like everything's slippery and goopy, and you're trying to like grab through all that to find a handhold. Well, you rolled a
Little treat
2, so
for the listeners, an hour trying to get off this pile of bodies. Woo!
I haven't even gotten to the door yet.
So
I mean,
good.
Rose
I
is
love
probably
it.
already there. She's just like,
Yeah,
at a certain
Rose
point,
is already like in front of the BBEG. She's already like saved the day. She's on
I
her
got
next
my-
campaign.
I got my, what was it, my goopy fish? What is it? What did I call it? My gooey
Oh.
fish.
I
That's
rolled
right.
Gooey
two.
fish.
That's right. There was a point for us being here. It just turns out that the body that you were sliding down was a lot larger, and your hands just could not wrap around anything reasonable. And you go sliding into the water, and you're like, okay, this isn't so bad. I can get out. And then you touch a blade of grass, and this jolt goes running through you. And then you're just kind of like half in, half out, just kind of like sprawled out on your stomach with like your waist in the water and the tendrils creeping up on you and you cannot move. Rose, what are you
Okay.
doing?
Two.
Where have you been during this excursion? Like you went and you're like, okay, I see there's this pattern here.
I see the pattern.
And like the math is flashing in front of you and you're doing all the calculations and you're like, if we got here and then here and then
she's
here.
just going to start hopping and like, because she's so focused into it. And she's like, okay, I think I got it. I'm going to do it. And then I'll know if it works or not, because if it doesn't work, then they'll blame me and Mimi will be mad at me more. So she's going, so while they're doing whatever it is, she doesn't even hear them. So she is just focused, like doing a hop, wait 2 seconds, and then do 2 hops, and then wait. Okay, and then another hop over to the right. And I don't know if you want me to do a roll for it, but
We need this animated, like looking at Rose, like hopping all peacefully, like singing a tune in her head, while in the background on this pile of corpses, we're just running around like a bunch of like toddlers, not knowing what the hell to do.
Like the clotheslining, the flailing,
No,
there's arms everywhere.
Oh my god, just back and forth.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm going to say that
Touch my face.
since you are entirely oblivious to what's happening and completely concentrated, that no, you don't need to roll because you've tuned everything else out. Your party is doing great and you are in the zone.
cool.
So you're able to hop across a handful of rocks. It's like 6 or 7 in total. You time everything just right. You know, wave in, wave out. It's like you're about to hop in on those 2 jump ropes that are swinging back and forth. You're like, I gotta wait for it. I gotta wait for it, and go.
Mhm.
You make your way across. All right, you're on the other side.
Cool. And she's going to sit there, look at the door for a minute and be like, huh, that's a weird door. It's not really a door. It's more like someone just scratched out a door. That's weird for a door. Hey, oh. And then she turns back and sees whatever it is they're doing back there.
Mm-hmm. And you turn around and you know, all of your eyes have adjusted pretty well. So you can see well enough. It's still dark, but you know, in the middle of the pile is this glowing person holding onto a rope while Mimi's laying on his back, like trying to pull the rope off his neck and kind of gasping for air. And then it looks like Handy's just like taking a nap, just laid out on the ground in the water.
What are y'all doing? Like, I thought we were going this way. Oh, okay.
It's okay. Well, I messed up. I've been stuck in the water. I'm out, but my halberd's stuck. So
Let's get Handy out first.
do I still, is the rope still around my torso, neck, shoulder region? Like, am I
Well, I mean,
still
as you kind
in
of
the
like
rope?
get up, you can take it off if you want. I mean, you
Yeah.
can leave it there. It's up to you.
I want to pull it up and just start like following gathering the rope up on my way towards Handy.
So the other thing that happened was in Time's effort to intervene quickly, he grabbed the rope with his burning hand and it singed it in the middle. So there is the small portion that is around your neck and maybe a few extra feet. So the rope on your end is much shorter.
Okay. Yeah, I just grab the rope and then still run towards Mimi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, run towards Handy.
Try and grab Handy and pull him out of the water because he's like half in, half out. So just kind of pulling him the rest of the way out.
Now, I have a question.
Yeah, assist.
Well, how does your burning hand work? So I know it's like you can use it to forge weapons. Essentially, you can ignite it and it's hot. You can basically just turn it on and off at command, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how I read it.
Okay, all right.
But to do so without time and safety might require you may unmake these things. Oh, that's only when you unmake things as well. But I guess you could add to defy danger to any of the roles.
No. There will certainly probably be a time when you make a roll, and as a result of your failure, the consequence is you weren't paying attention that your hand was still on fire in what you did with the rope. But I think you've probably also, in just going to go grab, him, you don't have to think about extinguishing your hand. before reaching and grabbing
Yeah.
someone. I just want to make sure that it
Yeah.
wasn't like it lasts for a while or there's a roll associated with it anyway.
Yeah.
But no, you
The only,
you can put your hand out and grab them, or grab
Yeah.
them with your other hand, and
I'll probably just I'll just put out my hand because I got the spear. So I'll put out my hand
yeah,
after realizing, oh, I just cut the wire. So
yeah, you grab
probably would
them,
have turned it off after I realized that.
you grab him, and you
And then just
pull, and it's not all that hard. He's small and pretty light, and the tendrils had only kind of just got a hold of him, so it's not like you're tugging a war against something strong. It was just kind of like
Mhm.
pulling him away from a sticker. Like it was pretty easy.
Ugh, okay.
Handy, you're free.
Oh,
Okay, so
what happened?
stay out of the water. Stay away from
That's
the
what I've been saying.
tentacle things. Those are some kind of octopus creatures. Ow, they hurt.
Octopus creatures, crazy. I
Where-
thought it was the
where-
grass.
Where's Rose? Is she in the water? Rose! Rose!
Hi, I'm over here by the door. It's not really. It's kind of a door. It's not really a door.
How'd you get over there?
Oh, it's easy. First, you hop to that spot, and then you wait 2 seconds, and then you hop to that spot, and then you gotta wait, and then do a double hop. And she just continues to explain it. You know what? Actually, I'll come back over and I'll do it again to show you. No, okay, I'll stay over here then and just yell at you. I can do that.
Tempting fate.
Hey, okay, so maybe what do you want to do about your boy out there?
Yeah, I really want it back. I don't want to leave it behind if we don't have to. So I'm gonna take there's a rope in the water. Can I see the rope in the water? The end of the rope that I let go of?
No.
Okay. But I have like 3 or 4 feet of rope in my hand, yeah?
Yeah, you've got probably I'd say 5 feet of rope in total with your half
Okay.
of the singed piece.
So I'm gonna just quickly tie a little noose lasso, and it's 3 feet off, so I should have enough. Like it should be enough that I can just kind of like toss it over.
Ring toss.
Yeah, just ring toss it over the halberd and grab
Well,
it.
so
when-
you
when
were
do that.
at arm's reach from the edge of the water, but you
Mhm.
stabbed your weapon down in front of you. So
But,
it's a
I
little
would contend that I stabbed my weapon down right at the edge of my feet.
okay.
Maybe one of these guys had one, just like pointing like
Here's
where we're at.
what I'll say to that.
This one is really special, though.
You can roll a defy danger like dexterity, and you can have a +1 for the placement, meaning that it's a little closer, but you're dealing with a much smaller rope now.
Okay, that's a 10.
All right, so you're able to, because I mean, your rope's not that long. You're able to get kind of a reasonably sized little noose, and it's close enough that you get it on the first go, and as you tug on it, it cinches down.
So I want to. I'm gonna kind of like shake it and jimmy it, so make sure it's down towards the base of the halberd, like in the water even. And then I am going to heave with all my might to try and pull it out.
Give me a defy danger strength.
That's
Hey!
10.
All right.
Success.
You've spent enough time with this weapon of yours to know what it's capable of, and you start pulling on it and you see it flexing, and you're like, there might have been a time early on where you would have backed down because you're like, oh, it's gonna snap because it's really flexing, but you're like, nah, I know my weapon, I know it's good, and then it just kind of like plops out, a gross swampy sucking noise as it pulls out of the ground and falls into the
Insert
water, and you got
suction
a handful of it at the edge at your feet. You can pick it up.
Excellent. I pick it up and sling it back into its mount on my back and look at Rose and say, okay, show us to the door. You know how to get out of here, right?
I mean, I know how to get to the door.
That's the start. Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah. So first you hop there and you wait a few seconds and then she'll go through it. Like, I don't know how she's going to guide them. I don't know how big the spaces are, if all of them can hop together or if they have to do it one by one.
It reminds me of you trying to explain this. Reminds me of in Baldur's Gate, Gale gives you some instructions at a certain point to do a very particular thing, and they're wild. Oh, you got to do this. Then you got to do this. And before you do that, make sure you say this in this particular way and do this counterclockwise, following by counterclockwise by selecting this color up in this corner. They're just all over the place.
Should we each hold some of the rope and have one person go, and then if anybody falls, we can kind of
That's a good idea. We can
do
all
a
like
pulley kind of
tie
thing,
each other off so that we're safe, and we can
but give enough
like I
slack so we
can
don't,
carry you and Rose can like we can carry you and Rose so that we
Ooh, I
don't
might be able
have
to help with that, and I'm going
Well,
to try
Rose is on the other
to
side
shapeshift.
or by the door.
I'm already by the door. I was told not to come back, so
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then
she's
we
over
can
by the door
carry
shouting
Mandy.
like, "Hey, all right, now jump."
Can you still see the pattern, Rose? Like, can you from where you're standing? Can you still see the wavy pattern? Like, can you yell "jump now" to us, or do you need to be over here to see?
I think I can still see it, unless the GM says otherwise.
You can
Can
see it.
I discern realities to see if I can see the pattern that she sees?
Sure.
7.
You see most of it.
Okay.
You could also ask a question if you'd like. That's part of the.
What here is not what it appears to be?
Well, it's not grass.
That's I can find now. I can tell that they're tentacles. Really looking at
Yes.
it. Yeah, 'cause I didn't. Yeah, I've not seen this.
You also just notice,
octopoid.
at the moment, they're like, there's no wind in here. And they're moving. And they're
I
tentacles.
don't like that.
Huh. Oh.
But because you see that you do kind of establish the pattern that they are waving back and forth in this particular area.
Okay, guys. Do you see it? Time. It's just kind of waving there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try. Handy, you want to ride?
Yep, backpack.
Okay. Run him over, and I'm going to hop, pause, hop, pause, hop, hop, pause, hop, pause.
Okay. I guess we'll all just kind of follow suit. As Rose shouting that instruction.
Let's see here. We'll group think this one. From my standpoint, given the fact that Mimi now has a squirrely backpack on while trying to hop across likely wet and slimy stones, do you think this is a good place for either one of you to roll a defy danger to see if you can maintain your balance? In that it's a little more complicated to do like river rock running when you're carrying a living thing or a bunch of stuff versus the ability to stand and sway if your footing's right or wrong. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
my take.
I would say a dex roll defy danger is appropriate, at
Okay.
least for me. I can make a case for time not having to, but I for sure
Right.
probably
That's what I'm getting at. The
need
fact
to.
that you're carrying
Yeah.
Handy at the moment. And
Yeah.
what we'll
Yeah.
say
No, that
is
seems perfectly
we'll
reasonable.
start with you.
Oh.
So that's a 3. I was about to say, depending on how it goes, maybe Handy can assist.
Would I be able to assist since I'm yelling out directions?
Well, you can, however, it won't matter because you rolled a
That's fair.
3.
Well, did I have? No, I don't have a thing. I was thinking of something else.
Does she have an aid? How much does aid add to my
1.
roll if she succeeds, it's a 1?
It's a 1. So it
Oh,
only really
best
works
case.
if you're at like a 6, like on the cusp of, a failure or a full success.
I mean, okay. In our defense, with Handy whispering encouragements in my ear, Time's hand on my back, and Rose giving us instruction. If everyone hypothetically succeeded, that gives me a 6.
Which is still a failure.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
and
not a
here's the thing. I
partial
don't think
success at a 6, or is that a 7?
only I think one person
Damn.
can assist with an aid or an interfere. I'm not entirely I'm
Yeah,
mostly
we need to be a
positive about that.
7.
I think it's just one. No matter how many people aid or interfere with a given roll, the target only gets a +1 or a -2. Even if a whole party is adventures, aids, and attacking ogre, the one who makes the final attack only gets a +1. So it comes together narratively, but we don't get to stack dice here. So
Okay.
here is you're just not having it today. Your options here, because you're trying to balance. You can drop Handy.
I'm only 55 pounds.
Or you can drop your weapon.
Handy's holding on to my weapon. Oh, fuck my halberd.
Well, so
I mean,
it's
I'm
kind
not
of
gonna
like
let
you're trying
Handy
to balance, and you've got your. Well, okay.
So let's narrate this as I'm using my halberd as like as a walking stick to balance.
That's kind of what
Start
I
to
was
lose my
thinking.
balance. I will assuredly like let go of my halberd and make sure that I grab Handy by his buttocks and make sure that he doesn't fall off me.
All right. You maintain your footing, but your weapon drops into the water.
And I watch it
Can
splash
Handy
into the
try to
water.
grab the halberd as it leans?
100% you can. Give me a defy danger dexterity.
All right. We got this.
Handy.
You rolled a 3.
Yeah.
So Mimi, you decided, you know what?
You-
I can sacrifice my halberd to make sure I hold on. And then you see it splash in the water, and then for some reason this tiny green goblin is like swan diving after it because he failed to hold on to you while reaching for it.
The moment I feel the moment I come loose and the realization sets in, Handy goes into like a panic defensive, and he's gonna attempt to shapeshift into something useful.
I imagine this like I'm hearing like an orchestra of classical music, like da 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 da, and like the halberd goes, and then Handy's just like slow motion in the air, and then like, oh shit, I'm
At this
going towards the
point,
water.
they're just doing everything to the Benny Hill theme song.
All right, so give me your midair panicked
It's a
shapeshift.
partial success.
Oh,
Something useful.
That's
What did you
fantastic.
roll? I didn't get to see it.
Okay. I rolled a partial
Wow.
success for shapeshifting, which gives me a. I don't believe in this instance it gives me a negative thing. It's, I believe, let me just read it again just to make sure. It's more of like I get less hold
Right,
for stuff later.
right. You do it, but you have fewer actions to take.
Yeah. And for my little self-imposed shenanigans, I turn into a raven. So I am able to fly. So
Oh, damn.
I'm going to
The best possible.
DM allowing. I'm going to
Yeah.
reassess my initial thought and maybe go to safety first and collect my thoughts. I was hoping it was going to be like a fucking elk or something and just like slam into the water. But no, I let go, feeling that okay, I'm not safe anymore. Panic, sprout wings, see the water. I'm rapidly going towards the water. Wings go out, and then I move around and get over to Rose, and I'll perch on Rose's shoulder.
So before we get to that point,
All right.
the timeline here requires some excessively quick thinking, quick acting, and quick execution.
Yep.
You transform into a raven, not a problem. You can absolutely fly. We're going to spend a whole doing that. But you are going to have to throw a defy danger dexterity to see if your ability to coordinate your wings happens fast enough before you go steamrolling through all of these tentacles.
Is a raven more dexterous than a goblin?
Are you looking for additional modifiers?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's not entirely how that works at this
All right.
moment.
Oh. Hey.
Partial success.
So
I didn't like that laugh. I didn't like that.
It's in your favor mostly. So you're gonna swan dive off of Mimi going for that halberd, and then realize this was a mistake, and transform into a raven. You're gonna sweep on down, and you know when you see like a bird or something kind of come down in a cartoonish style and like catch on something and then do like that whole barrel roll across the ground type thing. Well, you're going to do something kind of similar, whereas you're going to come down and you think you're just about to clear it, and you're going to catch one of those tentacles right at the edge as you're right, and then you are going to barrel into Rose, like
All right.
back breast against her and knock her over.
Ow!
Interestingly enough, you both get knocked out. Not knocked out. You both get knocked back. You fall backwards, and you are no longer in the room. with the other two.
Where am I?
Oh, do we go through the doorway?
They just disappeared.
It was probably a false door.
Time. What are you doing?
He would have like as started to reach out as he saw him turn, and then stand back and would have just been like just watch the whole sequence of events happen and look at me and go, let's pick up your halberd, let's go. I'm sick of this room.
Oh. Can we pick up the halberd?
Well, of course you can reach into the water to grab your halberd.
I look into the water for my halberd. Do I see it? Or any part of it?
Yes, the water isn't terribly deep. It's just there's all this grass around it.
So there's a lot of grass around it. Yeah.
There's some. You might be able to reach in without touching any of it.
What all is in adventuring gear?
Whatever you think makes sense. They're basically a catch-all item that you can say, all right, I want to use a piece of climbing equipment or a rope or a torch, or I want to start a fire or something that makes sense as a piece of adventuring gear.
Okay. So
Limited by your imagination.
I have I have some poles from my like pop-up pup tent thing going on. I want to use the pole. Time, you man, gosh, you're amazing. You've done so much, and you've already like tried to help me save this damn thing. It means so much to me. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try and do this thing. So I grab my tent pole, which I suspect is 3 feet long, 4 feet long, somewhere in that range. Yeah. And I want to try and fish up what I can see. I want to use it to lift the handle of the halberd out of the water to where I can grab it.
All right, give me a defy danger dexterity.
I'm not gonna help.
Yeah, so you grab your
yeah.
like you're pulling a katana out of your back. You're like tent poles. And you come in and kind of angle them just right, and they got a lot of flex to them, but you're able to get it to bend just right so they don't flick off the end, and raise your halberd out, which is easily graspable without touching any of the weird tentacly things.
Awesome. So I'm gonna grab my halberd, throw it back on my back, look at Time, and be like, "You are awesome. Thank you. High five."
Be sure if you've used a piece of equipment to expend it. So I know
Okay.
you've said that you're using your tent poles, but adventuring equipment is something that is like a one-time use.
Fair. Okay. Then I have no. Oh, well.
So you'll still have your tent. We'll let you sleep. We'll let you do some glamping, but
Sleep on the ground now. I just throw the tent pole into the wide. No, I'm not. I'm gonna take the tent pole and I'm gonna dart it. I'm gonna try and throw it at one of the tentacles to poke it, and then I'm gonna walk towards the wall that Handy and Rose just disappeared through. And
Yeah.
yeah. Is it noticeably
up.
a false wall? Is there a glimmer or a shimmer? I want to take my halberd and like reach out.
were you
and
looking at
poke
them
the
when they
wall.
disappeared?
I feel like I was looking in their direction. I mean, I feel like I
Or
would
would you
have
be
been,
looking
yeah.
down at your halberd as it enters the water, going, not again?
Yeah, I
I
think
feel
it
like
was-
Handy turning into a bird right in front of me and swooping off would have caught and
Well,
carried my attention.
I think those two
Sure.
things happened at the same time, though,
They-
too.
They did, yeah.
Look, it's your call.
Roll for
I think
obsession
both
over the halberd.
are reasonable. You could either
Yeah,
be
like, I
focused
mean,
on your
I'm not-
halberd, or you could have been like, he fell off and I watched him do some weird shit and then they disappeared and then you came back to your halberd.
As soon as he started to fall, I forfeited the halberd.
Okay.
So he became my main priority.
So yeah, you just saw them.
I probably am not certain if they disappeared, if they like collided and then got teleported away, or if they fell backwards through the wall. But I'm inclined to poke around the wall just to make sure.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna take my halberd. I'm just gonna like start poking at the wall closest to where I saw him to see if it is tangible or not.
Okay. I need Rose to make a defy danger dexterity.
Why danger dexterity?
Of course.
That went for a override. I got an 8, so partial success. I think it didn't ask me
So
for.
you just got barreled over by a raven. Now let me ask you, Handy, how big are you as a raven? Raven size, traditional, or are you larger in any
Yeah, I
way?
think I think average raven size, so a
Okay.
little larger than a
Um,
pigeon, I think.
so this would be like throwing a football at a toddler. Like you just got wailed in
Sorry.
the chest by this bird, Rose, and it knocked you back on your ass. It was unpleasant. And it didn't take any damage, but god damn, it didn't feel
Ow.
good. And you stand back up only to be pummeled in the chest again by a halberd that seemingly came through a wall that you are right in front of, and you are knocked down once again.
No, I did nothing. I don't want to be pulled into the shenanigans.
Hey, time. This wall is fake.
It is.
Hey, Mimi, you take your halberd and you thrust it through the wall, and you feel it make contact with something kind of padded and give.
I'm
You
like,
don't hear anything. You just notice that you've hit something.
I'm going to poke my head through, just kind of lean forward and look through, like put my head through the wall, look around.
Well, you
I'm gonna
look down and you see Rose sprawled out on the ground, and I imagine Handy like trying to like push himself up with his wings while like seeing stars, little cartoon stars floating around his head.
I look around. I see Rose laying there, and I'm gonna go. Oh no! Jump through, and I'm gonna rush to Rose and use lay on hands.
All right, you want to read that out for us?
When you touch someone skin to skin and pray for their well-being, roll plus charisma.
Is it to heal? Because I don't have any hit
I
points
don't know
taken.
that though.
Yeah, technically it is.
All right, got a 10, so you heal 2 damage from them or remove 1 disease, but there's no disease and she's already
I
at
have
full
no
health.
damage either.
She just feels great for a second for no reason.
Ew.
Are you okay? I think I just hit you. I'm so sorry.
No.
It's been a really traumatic few minutes. It's okay. We're good. You're good. I'm good. We're good. I got my halberd.
Are we?
I don't know. I hope
Where
so.
are we?
What are
don't
you
know.
doing?
He probably would have run through as best as quick, and because you would just hear her, Mimi go, "Oh no!" and then leap through, and then so time would have went shit, and then jumped in through with his spear out going, and totally realized that there was no danger, and been like, "Oh, okay,
All right, so
We're good.
That
She's
was
good.
fun.
I think I hit her, but she's good. I healed her. Handy, you're good? Handy? Where's Handy?
Oh, Handy's in the corner, like getting his feathers right.
So squawks. Awesome. I lift Rose up. I say, I don't know where we're at. We gotta figure it out.
Okay, I got hit by a bird and saw this, and then a weapon came out of nowhere, and I was on the ground again. I haven't had time to look around either.
well, as you all kind of gather your bearings, you notice that you are in a room, and it no longer looks like a cave. It looks like the inside of a house. There's wood flooring and handles running along the walls, and a handful of bookcases, and there's a large table in the center of a room, and a bed along the back wall, and a lovely young woman sitting at the table, writing some stuff down, not paying you guys any attention.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who are you? Where are we?
That's
Did you bring us
kind
here?
of to ask.
Oh, hello. Not too many people go through that door in this direction, so this is quite unexpected.
Oh, do they usually? Is there another way that we're supposed to come in? Should we go in that way first?
Well, usually you go the way you came in. My pets are very hungry.
Is she the one I'm supposed to do the gloopy fish on? She's asking this to Handy, who I assume is still a raven, just standing next to her.
What's a goopy fish?
It's just a really cool fish that is kind of goopy.
I can't say that I'm fond of fish.
So, did you bring us here to feed us to your pets?
Oh no, if that had been the case, you probably would have been bound or dead.
Oh. What was in there? Is your pet the grass tentacles?
Those are maggot squids. They're wonderful
Are
little
they-
creatures. Once you get to know them, they're really not that bad.
Those are the pet. That's a really creepy pet to keep.
A double-edged sword. They're very useful for disposing of bodies.
Are they though? There's a lot of bodies in there. Like, how much are you feeding them? Or they're terrible at it.
Oh, they just take their time, that's all?
Okay. So can
Ma'am,
you tell
I
us
do
where
believe
we
I did
are?
not catch your name.
You can call me Liv.
Liv. Uh, thank you kindly. Where exactly are we?
Well, this would be my room.
What does she like? She's a pretty lady, but is she like human, elf, drow?
Human. Light brown hair in kind of like a step below a ball gown. Not entirely formal, but still very well presented.
Are there any other doorways, passageways? Can we hear anything from other rooms or anything?
You can hear some chanting coming from the other room. There is only one door. You guys kind of came tumbling through one of the walls, and you see in front of you the desk and the table that she's at, and there's a bed behind her, and her furniture, her cabinet where she keeps her clothes. Off to the left hand side, there is a door that leads out, and you can just hear faint chanting through the doorway.
I want to fly up closer and just kind of like acting bird, like just moving around the room, getting closer to that door, like on a table, on a bedpost.
Well, the
But
door's
just trying to get
closed.
closer to that. Right. I just want to get closer
Okay.
to it. So if anything, if it's easier to make out, are they chanting in a particular language, or if any more detail comes through if I'm a little closer.
No, you can get closer, but you're not going to be able to
Okay.
make anything out. Is there something you're looking for, my goblin friend?
Squawk.
I mean, you could talk. We've established
I
that.
know he says the word squawk.
Okay. What is your intent behind that squawk?
Trying to pretend like he's still a bird, but not doing it very well.
Right. I want to know what your thought is when you squawk.
Surprised that they know I'm a goblin when I'm a bird.
Well, of course you're a goblin. I mean, you're green. There are not a lot of green ravens. And I must say, you are a fine-looking raven. I've seen quite a few, and you are rather magnificent, although
Handy
green.
blushes.
Yeah, I don't know what to do in here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Handy is a little uneasy. He's gonna get farther away he's gonna go back to Rose's shoulder, a little uneasy and scared of what's happening.
I'm sorry. What was she saying? Just the
Over
last
here
line.
for him.
Oh,
Just
do
calling out Handy on being a goblin.
Okay, that's fine.
Handy doesn't like it.
Okay. Hey, so you said you had pets. What are your pets?
They're
They're maggot squid.
they're maggot squids.
No, maggot squids.
Do you have other, or is it just
Like-
squids?
Big snakes? Do you have a big snake?
No, I do not have a big snake. I do have.
Oh,
I mean, yes and no, I guess is the best way to put it. This is a temple that you are in, and there is a large snake in the next room. It's just a statue, however. So it isn't quite a pet, but I am its keeper.
oh.
If you wanted to mince words and get technical, I do watch over it. It just happens to be
Oh,
made of stone.
Are you like a priestess?
I think that is a fair word to use for my role here.
What is this a temple to? Who are you? Who in this temple are you worshiping?
That would be Ferelsh.
Relish.
Never heard of her.
Would I
Have
would
I
I know
heard of her?
anything about Ferelsh?
Ferelsh.
How do you spell that?
Ferelsh.
You can give me a spout lore. When you consult your accumulated
7.
knowledge about something, roll plus intelligence. GM will only tell you something interesting. It is on you to make it useful. The GM might ask you, how do you know this? Tell them the truth. I will say that Ferelsh is a name that you've heard in passing from the conversations of demons when you were in hell.
Right. Okay. You ready?
I want to step forward and use I
He's
am
gonna
the law.
keep that to himself.
All right,
I'm
give
gonna
me a.
step forward. Go ahead.
Go ahead and tell us. Read it off for us, and then give us a roll.
Okay, I am the law is when you give an NPC an order based on your divine authority, roll plus charisma, they either choose one and I take a +1 forward against them. They choose one, they do as they please, and I take a +1, a -1 forward against them. They have to do what I say, back away cautiously, then flee or attack me.
All right. So give us a roll. Well, first, what are you doing or saying?
Okay, so I
Give us
step
that
forward
first.
and I say, I demand to know the nature of this temple, whether you're our enemy, and how the hell to get out of here.
That's a lot of different
Okay,
demands. You're
okay,
gonna have to
okay.
narrow it down.
Fair, fair. I step forward. I say, I demand to know how to get us out of here now.
All right, give him your roll.
10.
Young sir, there's no need to take such a tone. The
I
way
mean, you
out.
have scary snakes and squid maggots, and I don't like.
Oh,
You seem a lot like a bad guy, and I'm in your house, and I don't want to be rude, but I'm gonna need you to tell us how to leave.
bad guy. That is
It's perception,
rather
honey.
insulting.
You have some really scary pets, and there's some weird chanting coming from the back room.
But you
I would like
fail
to
to
leave.
understand something doesn't make them scary. It just means that you are ignorant.
That's fine. I can be ignorant in this situation. It'll be better once you tell us how to leave your home.
You have to go through those doors and walk out of the temple. When you walk into the next room, there is a statue, and on the other end of it, there is another door, and those will take you up a set of stairs, which will lead you back to a room I'm sure you're familiar with, that had some water in it that you may have slid out of, and you will be back on the surface.
Sorry, my friend is very brash, and Rose is going to step in front of Mimi. He's
That's quite all right. I know his type.
So this serpent, that's the only big snake that you know of, right? The big statue. Is that like the symbol of who the temple is dedicated to?
Yes.
So would you say the snake's like hell touched?
What do you mean?
I don't know. That's just a phrase I heard somewhere.
We're currently looking for an item that is from hell in
Oh,
order to reach that location
I have all sorts of
Wait.
things
to
from
meet
hell in my
ends.
vault. What are you looking for?
Wait,
We were looking for a scale from the hell touched serpent.
She stops and kind of puts her hand on her face and says, I can't say that I have anything. Oh, it's an interesting ask. I'd have to go spend some time looking through my vault, but my hunch is that I do not have something of that variety.
If the snake statue is that, if it was hell touched, could we, I don't want to like desecrate it or anything, but would it be possible just to take a little teeny tiny scale off of it, like from the end of the tail or something?
Do you like your hands?
Yes,
Do you want to keep them?
preferably.
Oh, well then no, you cannot.
Okay, well, see, that's why I asked first. I'm
That's
not
very
like some
polite.
of my.
I appreciate that.
Does she seem truthful in the not having anything that's hell touched, or does she seem like she's hiding anything?
If you want to give me a discern realities, we can ask some questions.
Is there any way that I could say that being a raven helps me? I don't think so.
Ravens are super smart and good at solving problems.
They are, but I don't think they're. Yeah.
As my goblin trait, if I use my shape shifting to help discern realities, I get +1. I'm just trying to figure out a way to justify
look.
it.
So here's the thing.
Never
This
mind.
is a game where we get to make up our own rules in a lot of ways. If you think that it makes sense for you as a raven, and we could say like it's your sight as one thing in particular, that you're able to understand a character's
Yeah. I'm looking for using my extra good eyesight to like catch a face twitch or a little like side eye or like body language changing.
okay.
With my So that 5 becomes a 6.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's actually good enough.
It's not.
Let's
You are
see.
definitely going to miss out. You're also going to spend.
Alright.
So what I was asking before we made that is like this can be a Raven trait for you,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
will be a hold, which will be your last
Gotcha.
hold, which means you will. I think when you spend all your hold, you return to
Ooh,
goblin
possibly.
form, right?
That is a good question. Once you're out of hold, return to your natural form. Yes. So I squint really hard and I like pop a blood vessel, and then I'm back in goblin form.
On my shoulder.
On her
On your
shoulder.
shoulder.
On her shoulder.
Rose, you're on the ground again. Now with a goblin on top of you.
Oh,
Andy!
so sorry. I thought I got. Sorry, and I'll climb off and like try to help her up.
And you're actually gonna like knock something over. What was in close proximity to you that you both barreled into?
Well, if we came out of the wall, probably furniture dresser, maybe.
So you
I don't know where when we came in. Like we came in through a wall, but I don't know if we established what furnishings or anything was nearby.
hold on one second. No, okay, never mind. I had a thought on something. I'm gonna hold off on it. You bump into a cabinet, and you're both kind of slightly, so you're not knocking it over, but it does jar it enough that a vase that's on top topples off and shatters on the ground.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I was rather fond of that. I don't particularly appreciate your rowdiness. Goblin is a little on the squirmy side.
Sorry.
This is my
That was an
home
accident.
that you have barged into and are now breaking my things. I would kindly ask that you leave.
I can fix it, and I'm gonna try and start like putting pieces together, and it falls apart more, and keep like.
I think that's going to be Handy's trademark phrase. I can fix it.
I can fix it.
I can fix this. I just don't worry about it.
I have like mud and salves and like my herbalist thing, and I'm like trying to use it as glue, but it clearly isn't glue.
Oh, you
And I'm
guys
like,
are disgusting.
It's just getting like mucky and dirty, and yeah, it's
Y'all were rolling
not
around in
making it
like
better.
dead bodies and swamp water and just looking great.
We smell fantastic. So I want to.
So she gets up from the table, and you've seen a lot. Well, I don't know how many of you seen it, but I imagine most of you have seen the wealthy and royalty and the way they have a posture to them and poise. And she just kind of glides across the floor, just effortlessly. It's not swimming. It's almost dancing. It's so graceful the way she walks. And she walks over to the door and opens it up and gestures to you and says, would you be so kind as to.
That sounds fantastic. I'm sorry that we bothered you, Miss Liv. Real quick, before we walk through that door, is it safe? Are we safe to leave? Can we just walk outside from here, or is there something we're missing?
Of course it's safe to leave.
Okay. Handy time. Rose, I think we should go. Miss Liv has been a gracious host, but this place is kind of scary and we got stuff to do. And I'm going to start making my way towards the door, giving Miss Liv a nice breadth of space. Do I smell anything? Does she smell like anything?
What is your favorite flower?
Ooh, like hydrangeas.
Freshly bloomed.
She smells lovely.
Very sweet. It's very lovely. It's an amazing perfume.
That's a really pretty smelling perfume, Liv. Thank you for letting us be in your home. Sorry to bother you. Guys, we should get out of here. And I'm going to walk past her into the next room.
And I wish you well.
Thank you.
Andy tries to like pick all the pieces up and like put it on the desk that she was at, and then I'll scurry out.
Time is going to hang back for everyone to kind of leave.
Oh, Rose was hanging back too.
Oh,
All right, it's a hang back off. I want to hear how this plays out. Like, there's going to be like a couple like glances, And then someone's going to say something at some point.
Didn't
Trying to
you
steal
want to go?
something, Rose.
I'm not stealing anything. I asked very politely about
Uh-huh.
the scale. Go steal it.
Yeah.
I look back over
Show me
my
your
shoulder.
hands.
She shows her hands. She has not been trying to steal anything.
Yeah. Come on.
Why don't you go? What are you trying to do?
Trying to get a look at that bookshelf.
Fine. You can
Like
look at the
books.
books. I don't care. Okay, fine.
I-
I don't read very good, so I don't care about books. She's gonna go over to Liv, and be like, I am sorry for my friends. If you think of anything, because it's kind of important for us to go to hell. That sounds weird, but if there was anything that you could do to help, that'd be super fantastic.
You know, it is unusual to break into someone's home and break their things and then ask for their help. Is this something you do often? Flashes of you back in the
No.
wizard's house poking a hole in a green ball come to mind.
It wasn't until recently. No.
I do
Though,
see
to be
there is
fair,
something different
someone-
about you.
There was someone that there was. I mean, the last time I didn't really break into his house. He kind of took me to his house, and then he asked me for help. So I guess this is kind of what's that thing called? That when you do something and then something happens to you, kind of because of that.
Consequences?
No, I don't remember.
Listen.
Anyway, no. So we didn't know anybody was here. Didn't know this was a home, and I'm sorry. We would have gone if we knew it was a home. Probably would have gone about it a completely different way. But yes.
Yeah, the back entrance wasn't our initial, desire. We seemed to have accidentally tripped something up on above, which put us down there.
Well, that's because this place is reserved for the faithful.
Oh.
Do you worship
have
Ferelsh?
I don't think I have ever. Hold on, I'll see if I've heard of it. That was a logic roll. Spout lore.
Spout lore.
Or why is it lore? I've actually never heard of them. I'm not really too super religious, to be honest.
Oh, well. I don't know that my grace can extend to the unfaithful. I've already used up most of what I've had for your kind.
Do you mean halflings?
I mean rude individuals who break in and break things.
That was
/
Handy's fault. That was...
unfaithful.
What if I told you that I had a friend in hell that I needed to save from a horrible, horrible master?
I would say that sounds like a you problem.
No. He was really nice. His name was Grimshaw. Mimi didn't like him.
She smirks as you say Grimshaw.
Do you know him?
I am familiar with all sorts of people. Grimshaw is a fervent follower. It's interesting that you would cross paths or call him your friend.
Yeah, we were just hanging out on some tasty, tasty garbage instead of eating people's souls.
That doesn't sound like Grimshaw at all.
Well, we didn't know each other for very long because then he got zapped back to hell, and that's why I want to go to hell, just so I can say hi. And so, because he
I think
that
we
a lot,
I
and that
think
doesn't
we
sound
mean
very
Grim
nice.
Snare, don't we?
Probably. I
Mhm.
don't remember what it is. Was it Grimsnaw? I didn't look at my
Grimshaw is
notes
his
before I
cousin.
started. Well, I think you.
Demon lineage is a finicky thing.
Mimi's
I
gonna
didn't
poke his
remember.
head back in the room and be like, "You guys coming?
I'm trying to fix what you broke.
What did I break? You broke everything. You and Handy
did-
broke it. Remember,
See what I
Handy
had to
turned
do?
into a bird and then fell on you and turned into a halfling, and then you guys knocked over all of her stuff, and you keep saying it's my fault. It's your
You
fault.
didn't.
You two did it. Quit making up for your mistakes. We got to get out of here.
Andy, you've moved into the next room, and it's kind of what you'd expect of an open cathedral. It's a pretty large space. There are candles placed alongside the walls and a variety of places to kneel at a handful of small statues of a a snake, but it's not entirely a snake. You'd have to investigate to really get a good look at it. But at a glance, there's small snake statues, but there's a very large snake in the center of the room. And there are a handful of hooded figures crouched around it, and they are chanting. So this is what you're hearing. And you can't make out what they're saying or what they're humming. They're just kind of rhythmically chanting in a foreign tongue.
Are any of them are there on their persons? Are there any visible weaponry?
You can't see anything about them other than the robe, and they are like on all fours on the ground, you know, in laid out in front of in a kind of a circle around. They're not paying you any attention.
Um, out of curiosity, he is going to quietly, as in not like trying to disrupt, not being sneaky, just trying to not disrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, going to move closer and try to kind of take in the statue. When you said it doesn't look like it's a snake, but it's different. I want to try and get in to maybe just study it a little more.
So the one in front of you in the center of the room is a large snake. It's just like almost king cobra like, has a large hood on the backside of it, and it's coiled up and then perched up. And you look up at it, and it looks like it's looking at you, eerily like it's watching you. And then as you look around the room, you see other snakes in different poses, but also like the form seems to change. Like the color or texture of it is different in one, and in another one it has a like more human-like features in its facial expression, and the other one it has kind of a pose that seems unnatural for a snake to be in, and one of them even just has like arms coming out of it. And then there's others that are a snake, and it is being worshipped by small little figures, and then another one where a snake is viciously attacking an animal, and there's all sorts of these lined throughout the room. And as you're kind of looking around, you notice on the other end of the room there is a door leading out, just as you had been mentioned, and then off to the right there is another door.
Um, huh. I would like to try something.
Mm-hmm.
So we can chop this up if needed, but
Hey.
every time so far that the group has seen Handy shapeshift, it's been in a panicked or defensive split decision,
Mm-hmm.
and it never seems to go right. I would like to approach the statue, continue to approach, kind of taking in the awe of this, and use my shapeshift in a more calm manner
Mm-hmm.
and choose a snake form.
Mm-hmm.
And get in, kind of like how I'm envisioning is I'm walking forward, and then I kind of, something about what I'm seeing, I kind of like lose myself a little bit and walk towards it and slowly start to transform, maybe not into the same hooded cobra, because that may not be something I'm familiar with, but just the
A garden snake.
yeah, but just something serpent in nature,
Yeah.
like a garden snake, and
You can pick
get
whatever
up.
you want.
Yeah, but get up to the statue, like as close as absolutely possible, and kind of just go around it and just like really take it in. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll your shape-shifting to see how many holds you get.
so actually not having a panicked where I'm doing my little roll thing, but actually just letting that happen more naturally.
All right, so
2 hold.
you're approaching the statue, and then you kind of crouch down, and then you are now slithering, and the hooded figures are laid out. They are face down. They are covered head to toe. You can't make anything of them. But as soon as your transformation completes, the beat and rate at which they chant and the volume at which they are chanting increases. And you slither up to the statue, and you're a snake in front of another snake.
With them on their hands and knees, do their hands, are their hands visible? Can I see? No.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I want to kind of go through, see if there's anything that just take it in, and then maybe look at some of the other snake statues you had mentioned, the other poses and stuff, and just slither through them, take them all in. And
Sounds like you're spending quite a bit of time examining this room. Why don't you give me a discern realities?
while the rest of the party is kind of discussing amongst themselves, I've kind of like tuned all that out and just kind of like been taken over by the scene. Discern realities.
Hey, Jeremy, what was the name of the god again?
Ferelsh?
Ferelsh, thank you.
That is a success. 11.
It's Ferelsh. So you got an 11, so you get to ask 3 questions.
Who's really in control here?
All right, let's start there. Ferelsh is in control.
What here is not what it appears to be.
Explain.
My rationale is,
Where's your focus?
My focus is on this ritual, the what they're the chanting, the snake figures, the cathedral space. It's this religion that we're seeing this act take place in, whatever that happens to be, whether it's just regular worship or a ritual where there's an end that's about to come. Is it just worship, or is there something that's like about to happen, which is where I was going next, which was what's about to happen? But are they chanting to make something happen, or is it just your run-of-the-mill worship? Is where Handy's
So
heads
you're kind of slithering around, and maybe it was that you bumped into one of them. You're so focused on one of the statues on the wall that you weren't really paying attention, and you just kind of bump into one. Or maybe it's your observation, or maybe it's your smell, your ability to flick out your tongue and kind of get a sense of things. But you realize that there's nothing under the hoods. There are no people or creatures underneath the hoods on the ground chanting.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I have just kind of been watching Handy.
We got one more
like,
question, though.
transform. Oh, does he have another question? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. With that information, ooh, what should I be on the lookout for? And my focus is to the figures. Because there's something is
should-
making the robes be in that shape.
You should keep your eyes on Ferelsh moving forward.
Got it. And that's where they will be.
All right. So moving back into the room. Mimi, you were about to go off on something. Let's.
Yeah. So as I come back into the room after encouraging Rose and Time to hurry up, I see Handy like transform and like shapeshift and kind of tour the guy. And I'm just going to kind of make my way across the room, like keeping like along the periphery. Is it a round room or a square room?
It's square.
Okay, and there. Okay, so I'm just gonna.
It's more rectangular. It's longer than it is wide.
And they're all in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep to the wall and make my way to the other side of the room, all while keeping an eye on Handy, all of the robed figures, and just watching all the places. But I want to make my way across the room to the other door and look to see what is on the other side of it or how far up the stairs I can see. Just
You
for where we're going.
okay,
Going
you open the
forward.
door and you can see that it leads to a staircase.
I think I found the way out. Handy, Handy, the way out is over here. Quit playing with the snake. We gotta go.
Yeah, I'll make one more kind of just go pass in front of the door we came out of where the other two are still talking with the priestess,
Mhm.
and then I'll circle back around and head towards Mimi. And once I'm like 15 feet away from him, I'll start to revert my form back.
Okay.
And keeping an eye on the statue, just kind of.
All right. Rose, Time, what are you guys doing?
Trying to make friends with Liv, even though everybody's throwing me under the bus.
Says the girl throwing me under the bus. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna change my bond. I feel like you need to learn accountability.
She had nothing to do with Handy turning from a bird on her shoulder into a goblin and breaking it. She was standing
She
there.
would have everything to do with blaming that situation on me while trying to cover herself.
My friends, your options are this door out, or I can send you back to my pets.
I don't want to be rude about your pets, but they didn't seem to like us very much. Well, I mean, I didn't have any troubles with them, but everyone else did.
Oh, they're fond of everyone.
You wanted to look at your books.
Is there something in particular you're looking for?
Just seeing what you got on here that catches my eye.
Well, it's always nice meeting another avid reader, but this is not a library. This is my home.
Apologies. Let's go, Rose.
She's going to dig in her first she's going to dig in her coin pouch and hand over a gold coin to Liv.
Oh, that is I suppose is gracious, but is unnecessary. Money has very little meaning here.
Oh, maybe you can get a new vase with it. Oh, also there's this. And she goes into her special pouch that she has, and she pulls out a little glass snake that's like curled, like it's curled up. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Like when rattlesnakes are like curled up, like when they're getting ready to strike, or you see them, like the snake whisperer people, like, so it's like that, and then the head's sticking up a little bit. She's like, I assume that Ferelsh, your god, like snakes. Yeah. So I know money. So here, and she'll hand over the little glass snake.
And she takes it and examines it, and her demeanor doesn't shift entirely, but you can see that it is warmed her up. And she says, "This is Ferelsh will look kindly upon you for this."
You're welcome. Okay. And then she'll be like, okay, and just go. Mimi is not going to be happy.
All right, so Time and Rose, you step out into the room, and again, you're met with the same thing. There's a large snake statue in the center, which the way it is poised and its eyes just feel like they watch you as you are walking through, and there are hooded figures on the ground chanting. And the chanting, you were in the room having your conversation, and it got louder for a moment. But as you kind of step into the room, it is quieted down back again to the hum it was at moments before. And you see Mimi and Andy on the other side of the room walking towards the door.
Time, we found the exit. There's the stairs she was talking about are over here. Probably avoid the rope fellers.
Mimi, I don't think there's anybody in there.
No, you can see them. They're right there.
But they're not. There's something wrong with them.
What do you mean wrong with them?
Really look at them.
And they're worshiping a snake.
Something's not right with that. I don't know. I got a weird feeling about them.
That seems like a really good reason for us to continue to get out of here. Time, hurry up. Where's Rose?
I'm here.
Kind of you let Rose, as they go a little few steps ahead of him, and as he passes Liv, he's gonna pause for a moment and kind of lean a little closer and ask her, do you know what Orloth is up to?
I always know what Orloth is up to. Say hi for me when you see him.
That's what I was hoping you could help us with. My avenue is disappeared.
Oh?
Are you sure you have nothing?
Oh, I have lots of things. I just don't have what you asked for. What is it that you're
Do you have
truly
some-
after?
Next step to a ritual.
What ritual?
If you know, well, do you know?
You haven't told me anything for me to acknowledge otherwise.
His daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And what she's
I heard she's nice and cozy in her own little space right now. And she gives you a nice wide grin.
would you ever would you be inclined to assist with rectifying that situation?
Well, of course, but favors don't come for free.
Pointing down with the hells.
What was that last part?
Not I said not with dealing not of course we're not with dealing with the hells.
Of course not.
If you come up with anything in your readings, any rituals to expedite my search
But I don't know what you're searching for.
for redemption.
Well, aren't we all?
If you have something that can get us down there, it'd be much appreciated. Make sure you've got nothing.
Well, I mean, getting to hell is easy. I could kill you. And she laughs. What would you offer Ferelsh in turn for passage to hell?
Well, you know Orloth, you know what I'm good at.
Well, I know Orloth, but I can't say that I've caught your name. I don't know who you are. There's a lot of people in this world, and a lot of people tied to Orloth in particular. He's a wily one, that one. Hands in a lot of
Yes,
pockets.
most people just call me Time.
Oh, Felix.
And
I'm well aware of you. Isn't this a wonderful surprise? There are not. This is my temple, and there are many in my service, so there is not much that I need for the type of brute force tactics that you employ for the lesser kinds like Orloth.
it would seem that a lot of my deeds have become embellished.
Well, it's not. See, you do carry. You do carry something special. If you were willing to part with it, I could see you passage to hell. It would be only a minor inconvenience. Just your weapon. Specifically, she's asking for not to remove your ability to cast Burning Brand, but the ability to cast your weapon.
Cast my weapon.
So you would still be able to cast Burning Brand, but it would no longer take the shape
Mhm.
and form of the weapon that you have used
Mhm.
predominantly. What's your current damage at? Like, what do you do for damage? Are you a D8?
D8, I believe
Um,
it's a D8. Yeah.
For the sake of metagaming, so that you entirely understand the consequences, you would also move down
Yeah.
to a D6.
Mhm.
There are
Yeah.
many roads that lead to the same end, but not all roads are as expeditious or as pleasant. Some are quick but painful, but you still get there, mostly whole.
Fear holds a sentimental value to me that I just can't.
Which one of you three is probably going to notice how far behind time is lagging?
Me. Like, for sure, me.
All right.
I'm sitting there staring at him talking to this girl.
What do you do?
He looks involved in the conversation that he's having, so I'm giving him the benefit of doubt for a minute. I
The
would
minute
like
has passed.
eventually, yeah, the minute has passed. Like, this is taking a bit, so I'm just gonna be like, time. And so Rose making her way across the thing at this point? Yeah.
Yes, she is.
So I'm just gonna like raise my voice a little bit more and be like, time. We gotta go. I don't know what you're talking about with her, but we've got to get out of this place. Something's creepy with the people in the robes. We're not sure. Let's go. Come on.
Tom's just gonna look at her and just go, "You can't have it." And he's just gonna I'm just gonna turn and walk away. And then as he gets kind of up to where kind of the chanting guys are, he's gonna just take his spear and slam and like hit it on the ground and cancel it out and see if him hitting the ground with it does anything to the chanting.
Yeah, you grab your spear and thrust it into the ground, and it the intent behind it, sparks kind of fly off the ground, even though you're just striking wood. The weapon kind of explodes on impact. Maybe there's a little bit of emotion tied to this, and the chanting stops, and the robes fall flat, and it is deathly silent.
Does the statue change in any way?
Nope, it just seems to hold its gaze.
And walking away, he's gonna raise his voice a little bit and say, "Don't let me make those rumors true."
Oh, that
And
will
just keep walking.
never come to pass. All right, what are y'all doing?
Where's the snake statue, the big one in the center? Where is its gaze directed? Is it looking at a door or any I want to follow its gaze. What's there?
It's looking at you, and it doesn't seem to matter where you move. It seems to follow you with its gaze.
Is it in the center of the room or is it up against the wall?
It's in the center.
Oh, interesting.
It's like those paintings at Disneyland.
Mimi, when you look at the snake, where does it look? Is it looking at you?
Yeah. Is it looking at me? Yeah, it appears to be looking right at me, which is really creepy because it also looked like it was looking at me when we walked into the room. But it seems like that's just a trick of the angle that its head is pointed. I don't know. We should go though. All those things just went flat, and that doesn't seem safe. We gotta get out of here.
And you look across the room and you see Liv close the door.
Close the door. How far is so I want to wait until Rose gets to the party, and then I want to wait until Time is like a couple steps from the party, like at the party, and then I'm gonna start up the stairs first.
What's the order, and y'all follow in suit?
Yes. I would probably be third, maybe. I don't know if Handy's going to go right after or not.
I'll Handy'll not hesitant. He's reluctant, but he will follow after Mimi. Right, so he'll be number 2.
All right, that makes Time bring it
Time
up.
is at the
Yep.
time at the end.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna
y'all
look behind, make
bring him
sure
up the
Time
rear.
gets on the stairs and actually like joins the party.
So y'all walk
Mm.
through the door and go up a staircase, and there is it's not far. It's just kind of right around the corner, out of eyesight. There is another door at the top of the stairs, and as
Want
you
to listen?
open the door and push through it, you walk back into the room with a snake sitting in the center of the room, and you're on the other end of the room again, as if you had just walked out of Liv's chambers.
Oh no.
And we'll have to tune in next week to find out
Oh,
what they do with it.
no.
Oh no is a good
like
exit dialogue line right there.
And the music plays. Oh boy. Interesting.
All right, so
Yeah.
end of session. I was so caught up in the moment that I was just like, yeah, that was good. Oh, we have more things to do. We're still recording. We have to
There's
Oh,
just things.
yeah.
we got to do all the other things that matter. So, end of
Resolution.
session. I'm going to find it right quick, but we go over our bonds and we ask some questions of the group, and we decide if anyone has gained any experience and gets to level up. So when you reach the end of session, choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved. Ask the player of that character if you think they agree. If you do, you mark experience. And then we'll go over alignment and some of the other stuff. So does anyone have a bond that they think they completed?
No.
No.
All right.
No.
That
I
resolves that.
do.
Oh, you do?
I feel like, yeah, Time is a brave soul. I have much to learn from them. Time was the first one to haphazardly come and try and save me. That means a lot and was noticed.
So what did you learn from that?
That he's a brave. Oh, well, I mean, that he's brave as shit.
Read your bond as is.
Time is a brave soul. I have much to learn from them.
See, that could never resolve.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think there's enough there with that. If you want to figure out a way to articulate how that it becomes something that you've learned, you can, for narrative fluff. But it makes sense that what the actions that he's taken so far, trying to save you and then clotheslining you to the ground are valuable.
Yeah, trying to save me, putting himself at risk to, protect me again after the fact. Even I noticed that as I left the room, he stuck behind with Rose just to make sure that Rose didn't type anything. He brave and honorable, and these are things that I have noticed.
All right,
about
so
him.
you'll mark experience. You can write a new one, and we'll introduce it at the beginning of the next one. Alignment. Did anyone fulfill their alignment at least once this session?
What is mine?
Other than grabbing Handy by the butt, probably not.
No.
No.
Change of sacrifice.
I sacrificed.
Okay, and lastly, did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yeah, we learned about a god.
A snake god.
All right.
Mhm.
Did mark
Ferelsh.
experience for that. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Yes, that damn corpse pile.
That was yourself
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you overcame.
the
That wasn't an
tentacles.
enemy. That was your own misgivings.
We
That was-
overcame the tentacle trap monster thing.
Ugh.
So the way you would think about notable monster or enemy does not mean every combat
yeah,
encounter
yes.
in which that you
We-
fail
we-
miserably to defeat it or overcome it. We're not going to.
What if
Fail
It was-
miserably.
You know
We're
the
2
intent.
rooms away.
But at an hour and 20 minutes of fumbling through it, it felt notable.
You guys definitely learned a lot, but I don't know that it would count as a notable monster.
Not notable.
No.
These were like vicious pigeons. They're common things. They are not.
they were so scary?
We got our ass kicked by the floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And did
Yeah.
you loot a memorable treasure?
No.
I don't think so.
All right. Few experience from a whole bunch of learning opportunities for you guys,
Leveled
as
up.
well as a completed
Nice.
bond and some alignment stuff. So awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys get out of this next week.
I saw an episode on a show one time about this. We got this.